What's up? We are live. Doing a morning walk. So we're gonna avoid the construction vehicles and the homeless and just do laps around this road here. That's kind of how we're gonna play this game, right? So we'll get some people in here, and I've actually taken notes. Morning, Dar. How's it going? Glad to see you in here. Thank you. We're just going to walk. It should be a lot quieter this time. We're just going to do laps back and forth, back and forth. Oh, you got the wheel seal blues. I've been pretty fortunate with wheel seals. I've had brand new trucks break their wheel seals. It's kind of like once they start. I know that the wheel seals that they put stock on the trucks aren't as good as the aftermarket stuff. So brand new trucks tend to go through wheel seals pretty quickly. And if it's not done right, you're constantly redoing it. Right? Pam, what's up? Grafton, what's up? Greg Zimmer, good morning. Yeah, we'll get about, 10, 15 people, and we'll start. I have a topic. I have notes. I'm sure the neighbors are like, oh, look, that weird long-haired bearded guy is talking to himself with his selfie stick. And he's got a piece of paper now. What an idiot. Show prep, yes. Well, I have this bad habit of forgetting what I'm talking about. Or I have these great intentions when I start a live feed, but then it pitters out to nothing. So but anywho, so the title of the video is Steps for Dominance. 6 steps for dominance. Now you might be thinking, dang Steve, why you gotta be so dominant? Well, here's why. Because the world sucks. It's gonna try to bring you down. And you gotta have as many tools in your arsenal as you can get. I can't tell you how many conversations I have with people that won't get out of their own way. And you realize that we're at that phase where good times create weak men, weak men create hard times. We're at that stage, right? So I gotta throw in my 10 cents and tell you how to dominate your world. Not that I'm some kind of guru. I'm not some kind of monk. I'm definitely far from perfect, right? I am far from perfect. BMW. And but you know what? I've learned a couple of things. So let's do that. Let's show you what I've learned. Maybe it'll help you. I don't know. If it does, cool. If not, then leave me a super thanks. You know, well, you can't leave a super thanks on this channel. You can cash at me and tell me how much of an a-hole I am. How about that? So, number one, you've heard me say this, the 6 steps. Number one, you've heard me say this over and over. Control your emotions. It's okay to have emotions. Things are going to tick you off. It's okay to want to punch holes into the printer and kick it and throw it across the street. But would that help me if I actually did it? It made me feel better for a minute. But then I'd have to go to Walmart, buy another printer, install it, go through that whole thing, get it on our network so anybody can print from it from their computer. Then I would create this whole other issue, or I could just control my urge to smash the damn thing into 100,000 pieces, right? On the other side of that, when it does break, and not by my own hand, then I have to control the emotion of what that is, right? I have to go through that whole rigmarole, right? So I know that sounds like probably stupid in the grand scheme of things, and to be mad about a printer is stupid in the grand scheme of things. Control your emotions. Someone says something bad about you, control your emotion about that. I have not been perfect with that. In fact, I lost a friend because I couldn't control my emotions. It's okay to have emotions. It's okay, but also recognize what triggers that. What triggers your emotions? Man, for a dead-end street, it's pretty damn busy. All right, everybody's going to work. That's what it is. So, number 2, don't give in to trivial things. What do I mean by that? Well, you know what? Think about this. Let's say you had a family member on your deathbed. Okay? Or you were on your deathbed. All the things that consume you now mentally, like another YouTuber, or your aunt's cousin who's a drug addict. All these different things that really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. Would they matter if you were on your deathbed? Would they matter if you had a family member? Like if someone called you and said, hey, your son or daughter is dying, are you going to get on YouTube and bitch about what another YouTuber's doing? No. How many times have you seen these YouTubers like, well, I had to get off YouTube because I had to focus on family? Yeah. You should be focusing on family the whole time. So the he said, she said gossip, that we all play that game in the grand scheme of things. Now, is it okay to talk about it here and there? Yeah. Is it entertaining at times? Yeah. But is it something that is a priority? No. And that's the thing. That brings us to number 3. Beware of what you're taking in. If all you do is watch this, you know what, CDN? Hold on a second. I don't know why you don't have a wrench on here. There. If all you do is take in these negative things, well, that's what you're going to reflect. Like, for example, if I'm watching a ton of knife videos, what do? I buy a bunch of knives that I don't need, and I'm making knife videos. Back when I was watching a lot of firearm videos, well, I kind of went nuts. When I was watching a lot of certain YouTubers' videos, I got caught up in the drama. Next thing you know, I'm thinking about this stuff at 3 a.m. and there's no reason for it. You know, if you only see the negatives, because that's all you're taking in, well, guess what? You're going to be a negative person. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware that the world sucks. Be aware that you have a bunch of fentanyl zombies in your neighborhood. But also remind yourself that the world can be a beautiful place. And so you watch and take in the stuff that you know, helps prove that. So be aware of what you're taking in, both physically and mentally. If you're eating a bunch of trashy food and you feel like trash, your joints are hurting, or, you know, you feel unmotivated to exercise, or you feel unmotivated to, well, stop watching stupid things. What are you taking in physically? What kind of foods are you eating? Processed food is bad. Corn's killing you. And I'll get to the comments here, but I want to get through my steps. Number 4, change your surroundings. I have a few people, a few colleagues I know, a few acquaintances I know, that have not changed their surroundings in the last 20, 30 years. And all they do is complain about the situation that they're in. It's everybody else's fault. And every now and then they'll get a wild hair up their ass and they'll try to rise above it, right? They'll try to get out of their situation. And so what they'll do is they'll dress nice one day and go to a job interview, or they'll, you know, stop eating sugar for 3 days and say that they're eating healthier, right? But then all their friends, all their family, misery loves company. They don't want you improving yourself because it'll make them look bad. So what happens is your surroundings, people you surround yourself with, will bring you down. We've witnessed that on our YouTube space, right? You hang out with the wrong people, whether it's high school or, you know, when you were in high school, or, you know, whatever, you know, the gun club, the golf course, doesn't matter. Whoever you surround yourself with is a reflection, and it's probably keeping you down if you're with the wrong people. You want to improve yourself? Hang out with people that will root for you and help you improve yourself. You want to be more physically fit? Hang out with the people that are physically fit and have a good head on their shoulders to tell you how you can You know, they're not judgmental or anything, and they can tell you how you can get there and motivate you when you're not motivated, and create a habit of discipline. So surround yourself with good people. I know that was a paradigm shift in my life. I was hanging out with all the wrong people and did nothing but complain. Number 5, learn to fast. And that's not just in the food world, that's with anything. It doesn't have to be 30 days, it doesn't have to be anything extreme. Like, for example, my wife. We're going to talk about my wife for a minute. She was letting the social, you know, the state of the world get to her. And she's got a job now where she can listen to podcasts and YouTube videos. In fact, she's probably watching right now. And I know that from, you know, past experience, you know, being in the truck, if I'm listening to the wrong things going down the road, it affects my mood. And so she recognized that and did a 7-day fast of no podcast and no YouTube. It's just 7 days, and her mood improved dramatically. And she recognizes that, so now she can moderate that. That's the thing what fasting does. Go without something for a period of choice, a realistic period, and then figure out what makes you want to have that thing. Like, you know, when I go 30 days without Facebook, I recognize that I'm wanting to pick up my phone for no reason. I'm easily distracted. So my distractions have to turn to other things. I don't know, like books, learning, that kind of thing. And so, like, someone goes, well, can you do 30 days without YouTube? No. But I recognize that. I understand that. And so what I'll do is I'll limit certain things on YouTube. If I go 30 days without making YouTube, that's going to kill my algorithms. So I can't do that because it is a little bit extra money. Not this channel. I'm not getting paid squat for this channel. But, you know, that's okay because I'm doing it for myself as much as I'm doing it for the people that want to listen. Again, not that I'm some guru mastermind of anything, but I have figured out a couple of things in my 51 years of existence. So learn to fast. That could be from one food item. Go without sugar for 7 days. Go without bread for 7 days. Go without processed food for 7 days. You can accomplish that. Go without it for 3 days. And tell me you don't feel a difference. And if 3 days you don't feel a difference, try 7 days. And if you can't, here's the important part. If you can't go 3 or 7 days and you sit there and say, dude, I can't go 7 days without bread, that should be an alarm. That should be a moment of dawning comprehension that something's not right. And you might even go down the rabbit hole of, well, why is bread hard to kick? See, that's what fasts do. They bring awareness to a situation. And if you go 7 days without ever going outside, that affects you. Sometimes you have forced fast. You know, what is solitary confinement? You know, 30 days of, or so many days, however your sentence is, of no human contact, they see that as a punishment. Think about that. Fasting can either be a punishment or blessing. It's all in how you perceive it, right? If you're getting beaten up in prison all the time, solitary confinement's probably a decent thing. But if you're a social creature and you love being around people, well, 7 days of confinement is probably pure hell. See how that works? It's all in your mind. And it's all these elements that I've been talking about. Right? And number 6 is the most important. Well, yeah, number 6 is the most important. Become spiritual. Now, whether you're Christian, pagan, an Odinist, Buddhist, you know, I don't judge, right? Become spiritual. Have a something greater that you can look back on and that you can depend on for a moral compass. And if you're having trouble with that, find the group of people that are spiritual. Find the group of people that will help guide you spiritually. And again, I'm talking all facets of religion here. There's a difference between being religious and being spiritual. A huge difference. Some of the best Christians I know don't even go to church. And some of the worst Christians I know do go to church. There's a difference between religion and spirituality. You know, think about the Native Americans. You know, they were stripped of their lands, they were stripped of their way of life, and they were stripped of their spirituality. That's how you get to someone. If you can strip somebody of their spirituality, it completely destroys their hope and morale. And when you can do that to an enemy, guess what? You've conquered them. So my question to you is, are you conquered? Are you spiritually beaten? Have you been kicked so much that your morale is just shot? Are you a fatalist, right? Are you a defeatist? That is, and if you are, you got to hang out with the people that will bring you up. You got to hang out with the people that will help lift you out of that hole, will help lift you out of that pool of water that you're drowning in. You got to find those kind of people in your life. That's what you need. And if you can do that, that makes all the other steps a lot easier. Now, being spiritual, you're still going to go through hard times. You're still going to go through negative emotions. You're going to probably still do some stuff that you probably shouldn't do. That's human nature. But we've been given free will. And what do you do with that free will? And that's the key. And number 7, I'll add number 7 as a bonus a bonus tip: gratitude. Gratitude is where you first start. I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful that there's not a cloud in the sky. I'm grateful that the temperature is just right. I'm grateful that I have this dead-end street to walk up and down. I'm grateful that I have this platform to get out my thoughts. I'm grateful for all the friends that I have. I'm grateful for the trucks that I dispatch. I'm grateful for the carrier that I'm at. I'm grateful for my awesome wife who goes above and beyond to cook meals and make sure our house is in good shape, and that she's stuck with me for 20 some odd years. You know, I'm grateful for the negative things that have happened that have shown me where I need to improve. The lessons that they taught. Do this every single morning. I promise you, while you're doing your pre-trip, if you're a truck driver, while you're doing your pre-trip, be grateful. Be grateful for that truck. Be grateful that the tires all have air in them. Be grateful that when you open the hood up, none of your hoses are leaking. And if you do find a hose leaking, be grateful that you found that before you got down the road where it could have been a bigger problem. Do you see how gratitude works? If you hate this video, be grateful that you've watched it and that it pisses you off, and so it makes you do different things. Gratitude can be used in anything. And it is one of the biggest things that has turned my life around mentally and physically, to be honest with you. When I was 400 pounds, or close to 400 pounds, oh, Birdie, where you going, dude? I was taking my body for granted. I was taking my health for granted. I didn't have high blood pressure yet. I didn't have diabetes yet. I was heading there, though. And because I felt fine, or thought I felt fine, I continued to do what I was doing. You know, when I busted my ankle, I was grateful for that. Because it number one, I was grateful for, well, I think we're done walking here. Well, no, we'll walk somewhere. I was grateful for the experience because it showed me that we had some savings, you know, so it didn't hurt me financially that much. It showed all the friends that wanted to help me, and it showed the trolls that it brought out their hatred. And I've got the phone text to show of these people that texted me while I was in a chair, unable to walk, telling me that I was a piece of crap, that I was a failure. How do you handle something like that? Well, if you're not emotionally strong or spiritually strong, you don't. That's the thing. Unfortunately, social media allows you to have a platform if you're an emotionally unstable person. And you can be famous for it. You literally have people making lots of money with lots of fame, showing how emotionally unstable they are. How screwed up is that? Right? That's the backwards clown world we live in right now. Now, jealousy and envy, is there any of that in me? Absolutely not. I don't envy. You could be a TikTok millionaire, and I don't envy you at all. Like, you know, everybody's like, oh, Asian Mai or Bonehead Truckers, man, look at all the subs they have. Look at all the money they probably make on YouTube. Yeah, but can they ever rest? You know, Alex told me that if he's not making 4 or 5 videos a day, his numbers go down. If he's not constantly in the algorithm, he loses revenue. You're on the game all the time. There's no rest to it. Now, while that money would be nice, does he actually enjoy it? Probably to a certain degree, only if he's made boundaries in the 6 steps that I've talked about. Anyways, let's go back. We'll go back to the truck and I'll read the comments. You guys have been commenting. I got 20 people in here. Thank you very much. Every now and then I'll glance and see what that number is. I think I do that more on this channel than the bigger channel. Like at that live feed I did yesterday morning on the big channel, I don't even remember what I had at the peak, because I'm not as concerned about that, other than my concern is getting the message out. Not that I have some all-powerful message. That's good. You ever found something like this in one of your tires? 80,000 pounds doing 70 miles an hour? This becomes a projectile. Not that anybody's doing 70 in a semi down this road, but you never know. Do the good thing and pick it up off the ground, but don't throw it in someone's yard where a lawnmower gets a hold of it. That would be bad. What are your thoughts on that, guys? What do you think? Am I full of crap? Does this video irritate you or trigger you negatively? Does this make you go, Steve, you're such an ass, I hate you? Or are you like, dude, I didn't think of it that way? Or are you just like, man, look at this dude, he's got such an easy life, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about? What do you think? Do you think I'm a weak man because I'm not driving my truck as much? Huh? Or do you sit there and go, wow, he doesn't have to drive his truck as much. He's got a couple of things figured out. You know, which one are you? So let's had something weird happen to me yesterday. Let's get off this subject for a minute. Cops came over to the house yesterday. 3 of them. They knocked on the door. Dog went nuts. And they go, is this 1208 South Stewart? I just put my address on the internet. Anyways, I'm like, yeah. Actually, I said, no, this is 1208 South Delmar. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, like, he asked me, is there a certain name here? I said, no. He's like, oh. Okay, meanwhile, the other cops are walking around the yard like they're looking for somebody. And he's like, okay, well, I guess we got some bad information. I'm like, yeah, you probably did. And so after they left, and they had parked way up there. They parked like at the end of the street there. So they were being sneaky. I noticed the neighbor next door was outside smoking a cigarette. So I walked over to him and said, did they come over to your house? And he's like, yeah. They came up to me with their guns drawn and and they almost put me in cuffs because of how I reacted. And then I said, you know, and he's got literally 2 signs of his address, right? And they didn't see that. Meanwhile, I have a couple of signs too, or 1 sign at least. I got to make a bigger sign, I guess, of what my address is. Because we constantly get these food delivery people like, is this 12? No, it's not. So So yeah, they didn't have guns drawn when they came over to my house, but that's why you never answer the door with a gun in your hand, because you never know. There's been some stories that, you know, some guy gets a there was one story recently where the cop was at the wrong house, and they had one of those windows next to the door that you could see, and the cop was sitting there. He knocked on the door at 4 a.m, and the guy, you know, had his firearm in his hand as he approached the door, and the cop saw that and shot him through the door. I don't know if it killed him or almost killed him. And then there was another incident where they came to the wrong house and they did shoot and kill the person that it wasn't them. You know what you do when someone knocks on your door at 3 a.m? You don't answer the door at all. That's why, you know, you have video cameras so you can see who it is. And if you don't recognize the person, just, you know, I used that method one time when we were living downtown. This homeless dude had gone on the porch, and I heard our doorbell. So I woke up, looked through the peephole, and saw this homeless dude just like, you know, and he starts pounding on the door. Hey, let me in. I'm like, that's a hell no. So it was Saturday night. So I called 911 and said, man, this dude's on my porch yelling to get in. He won't go away. Well, is he trying to break into the house? Not yet. Okay, well, we're really busy tonight, so you'll have to just call us back if he tries to enter the home. So this dude starts pounding on the door, and he stops. And he starts, we had just changed all of our blinds out in the house, so we had a bunch of them sitting on the porch till we can get them in the trash. And he starts like rearranging all this stuff. He starts like making a home out of our blinds on the porch. So it's making a lot of noise, right? And this is before we had kids. This is when my wife and I were living by ourselves. And so I called 911 again. I said, now this dude's trashing my porch. Well, is he trying to break in? Because we'll get somebody there, but it's going to be about 25, 30 minutes. Unless he starts breaking in the house, that's how it's going to be. So it gets progressively worse. And finally, the third time I called 911, I was like, yeah, he's trying to break down the door. They were there like 5 minutes. They approached the porch. I watched through the peephole, and so they finally knocked on the door. Okay, you're safe. This is a homeless dude. We know who this guy is. If you want to press charges, you can. You know, and here, Dar. Here's my cat. He's not happy about the situation. It's like, I didn't want picked up. Anyways, so the cops aren't going to come and save you. You know, by the time the dude was, you know, here's the thing. If he was in the house, then it's a little bit too late to call 911, don't you think? But that's the system we're in, and that's the system you got to live with. So, anyways, let's do some comments here. Actually, I can do that with the other phone, so I'm not like... Don't want to be a litter bug. All right, let's do our highs. Dar, what's up? CB, Desert Okie Pam, Grafton, Greg Zimmer, Orion, what up? Jeff says, walk faster. You're in Grand Central Station, I know. Get a skateboard? No. I've never been I tried skateboarding, and yeah, I became a BMX freestyler instead for a reason. Are you wearing a walking safety vest? No, I'm not. I'm wearing all black. I look threatening. I don't look safe. CDN says, good morning. What about Greg Zimmer's wrench? That's a good idea. Where is he? Oh, I must have clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, I'm in the wrong phone. I'll give Greg a wrench later. He's got one on the other channel. Not everybody. I'm not one of these guys. Everybody gets a wrench. I'm not one of those dudes. Get one of those red blinking lights for around your arm. Raining hard in the Keystone. No walking today, says Sean. Some days I get a bit concerned that I'm not more concerned about the bad news that befalls us, but then again, whatever, I'm getting tacos. It's okay to be aware, but you can't let it bring you down. That's the thing. That's the key. Ice cream is... Oh, I just had a Cornetto ice cream. How bad is that? I've never heard of Cornetto ice cream. Dr. Kiltsey has a good ice cream, carnivore-friendly ice cream recipe. Go to his channel and he'll help you with ice cream. Ice cream is really good on the truck, or is really good, but I can't have that stuff on the truck anymore. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I've made keto-friendly ice cream. It's basically heavy whipping cream, stirred up a bunch, throw in some monk fruit sweetener, throw it in the freezer, boom, you got ice cream. It's helped a lot. There you go. Do or do not. There is no try. I just did a 3-day fast, and last night I felt like I could do 2 more drive shifts. I was so amped that I did it. There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about. Damn cat. Who knows what kind of wires and stuff are chewed up down here. Your steps are great. If you don't like Steve's steps, then create your own 7 steps to make your life happy. Key is having them so you fail. So if you fall off the rails, you have a foundation to go back to. There you go. CDN, in his wisdom, agrees with everything I've said. Great topics this morning. Thank you, CDN. Grafton agrees with them. My name is Nobody. Amen, CB, and good morning. Because I'm a clown, whenever someone knocks on my door, I tell Dave's not here. A Cheech and Chong reference. So yeah. Now in the truck, here's a safety tip for if you're in the truck. Okay. If you get a knock at 3 a.m., make it that you're known that you're in there, right? You can either open your blinds up a little bit. Don't open the door. Don't open the window. And then what I do is after 3 a.m. like one time I got approached at 3 a.m. by a female person. It was a travel center, middle of nowhere, Kansas, over there outside of Topeka, and she had a container full of what she said was cookies. I did that live feed's pretty funny. That was one of my live feeds that I'm pretty proud of. I told the whole story there. But what you have to recognize is that I did open the window just a little bit, and she could have been a distraction for something more nefarious, right? While you're looking at the lovely young lady trying to sell you something, someone's about ready to bash your head in or whatever. That is a method that's used all the time. And so what I'll do a lot of times is if someone knocks on my door at 3 a.m. and to show that I'm getting ready to go somewhere, I'll turn the truck on. That usually, if they're stealing your fuel, they're going to walk away from that. And just awareness is enough of a deterrent. Most thieves, they don't want confrontation. They don't want to be worried about being shot or stabbed or beaten up. They would rather do what they do in quiet. So they're going to pick the trucks that they know are empty. They're going to if they want to rob, if they want to steal. So, just situational awareness, man. It's what you got to have. Dave, what's up? Dave, there is a gun show this weekend. If you want to come up to Springfield, we'll go. We'll hang out. It'll be fun. But it has to be on Sunday. Or Friday. Friday or Sunday. So. But anyways, I think I'm going to cut this live feed off. It's going to go private for a second until I edit it to make it back public. I need to do more of these on StreamYard so it doesn't automatically go private. And I have the recording. Well, I can get the recording anyways. I can just download the video off my YouTube channel. But anyways, I hope these thoughts help you a little bit. If not, at least make you think. Make you aware that maybe everything that we are all doing, maybe we have to reprioritize. Maybe we have to think things differently. If you find yourself in depression and addiction and lost, I know at least a couple of my steps will help. I really do. Peace.